and this is off-season grades. So they gave the Detroit Pistons a C. Now, C is an average grade to me. I don't know about you. Some of my friends, if they got a D, they were happy because that means they passed. Had a lot of kids I went to high school with not even make it past freshman year or sophomore year. But this is their explanation for the Detroit Pistons and the C grade they gave them. They said it's going to be interesting to see what transpires in an alternate universe where Malik Beasley's Detroit most important internal free agent wasn't connected to a federal gambling investigation right before free agency opened because the last minute pivot essentially forced the front office to craft a backup plan on the fly. Detroit's decision makers did a decent job of scrambling to second options. The Pistons filled the shooting void left by Beasley by bringing in Duncan Robinson. They also added Karis LeVert to give them more scoring punch and creation off the bench. Still losing Beasley, Dennis Schroeder, and Tim Hardaway Jr. while adding Robinson and LeVert feels like a half step backwards unless rookie second rounder Chaz Lanier is ready to see significant minutes right away. Detroit probably made the best of a tough situation, but it still would have been nice to see a bigger push in hopes of building off the momentum created by last season's playoff breakthrough. So honestly, I'm not even too mad at their explanation. I think a lot of you guys have kind of had the same opinions this summer. Like you wanted to know, are they going to make a push this year to kind of feed off of the great season that they had? Winning 40 plus games, tripling your win total. Like the East kind of seems like quote unquote wide open, as a lot of you guys have mentioned to me. And I tend to agree with you. No Tyrese Halliburton this year, no Jason Tatum. There were teams in the East that were going for it. Orlando put a lot of chips on the table for Desmond Bane, trying to be a Eastern Conference contender, trying to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But the Beasley stuff was hard because, if he never really got investigated, the Pistons reportedly offered him that full mid-level exception over 3 years, like $15 million a year. That was the plan. Would they have traded Simone Fontecchio if that didn't happen? You probably don't have Duncan Robinson. Who knows if you go out and try to sign a Karis LeVert? Probably not. But you know what? They did. They signed Duncan Robinson. They went out and got Karis LeVert. They re-signed Paul Reed. They got Javonte Green. This offseason to me is what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was just kind of in the middle. I was like, okay, it was an okay offseason to me. When I saw any of these signings, I wasn't like, okay. I wasn't pissed. I think Duncan Robinson can play a similar role to Malik Beasley. Is he going to hit 300 threes? I don't know. I really don't know. He's hit over 200 plus in his career with the Miami Heat from a few seasons ago. Could he hit over 200 3-pointers? I think it's possible. I wouldn't rule it out. Is Karis LeVert a different type of player than Tim Hardaway Jr.? Absolutely. He's more of a creator. I think he's the perfect type of player you want to pair next to Jaden Ivey. Because when those two are out there in the second unit together, Jaden Ivey can kind of play more of his natural position where, he's coming off screens and just getting to the cup, getting to the basket. I think Karis LeVert can actually really help Jaden Ivey when he's out there with the second unit. I think he's actually going to be more important than we realize this season. Not only because he's a different type of player than Tim Hardaway Jr., he's just more versatile. He's a better defender. Thing with him is Just need him to have a healthy season. Like, that's it. Like, if he has a healthy season, I think it's a clear upgrade over Tim Hardaway. I do. I think, as a playmaker, he's better. As a defender, he's better. Um, but it's just the thing of, like, are you going to get the same kind of production from three as you got with THJ? Not really entirely sure. The Paul Reed signing, I wasn't too mad at it. He's a good, third string center. Seemed like a really good locker room and a culture guy as well. Always saw him, clapping and cheering on his teammates, with the two-way guys, the G League guys, with the end of the bench guys. He just seems like a really cool dude. And I thought for what it was worth in the playoffs, he did his best out there. We were severely undersized with Mitchell Robinson against the Knicks and Cat. He did his best. I mean, what are you going to really ask out of a third string center, right? The Javonte Green signing, I don't really know what to make of it. We're going to get into his contract details next, but he's a defender. And that's really it. You're not really signing him for his offense. You signed him for his defense, and I think he can definitely help out the Pistons, and he could help out Asar Thompson and Ron Holland in practice because this guy is known as a defender. And I always say, iron sharpens iron, you guys. I think going into practice every day, he'll make them better. He definitely will. But I'm not really too mad at this grade by Bleacher Report. C to me is an average grade. I don't think it was an A+ offseason. I don't think anyone would come up here and say it was an A+ offseason. I don't think it was a B offseason. I think C is at least fair. I'd go C+ maybe, but this is my personal opinion.